going on, my man? How's it going? Did you freeze?
It's going. We just broke halfway through on the campaign, so little good news.
Nice. Yeah, man. I was just talking about how tough some of these campaigns can be. Phil, there's Ralph.
Yeah,
Love the
rough.
covers. So, Philip, talk to me, my man. I know you're a busy guy. You have a couple of things going. I mean, obviously, you have a campaign right now, Papa Two, which is what we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. But you also have other endeavors that you have that you have. You have your Filbo distribution. You're a publisher. You're working on getting the printing on demand, and just printing in general going. So, tell us a little bit about everything you have going on, brother.
So, lifelong comic fan, 53 years old, struggling like every other independent publisher, trying to reach beyond the crowdfunding bubble that's been created. I think crowdfunding is a wonderful tool, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, I think we're stuck on a hamster wheel here, and I think we're hitting the same people, which is usually other creators just supporting us or the few people. I think Kickstarter's, really suppressing the algorithm for us little guys. The big guys are now on crowdfunding, taking $1 million campaigns, which is now money out of our pockets. So I think crowdfunding is being used as a distribution hub, and it's kind of hurting the little guy at this point. I also think the demographic has changed to collectors, not readers. Just my opinion, but I think the numbers kind of back that. Anyway, so as a small publisher, I'm like, what are the hurdles? Well, you need to get into direct market, get into retailers. Okay, but how do you do that when Lunar and Diamond, everybody is gatekeeping you and they don't want you in because they feel you're not going to do enough numbers or because you're not Marvel and DC? And even if they do let you in, how do you afford it? Because you're paying $3 to $4 to print a book. You're giving a 40-50% discount to a store. You have to spend the money to ship the books to the distributor's warehouse. There's no money left. You're broke. You're done. How do you continue? So I looked at all these issues and I was like, oh, there's got to be a solution, and there is, and I'm doing it, and it's Filbo distribution, where with print on demand. Now we're doing digital printing, but we're doing really low prices. So not only do you not have to send us the books anymore, which saves you on shipping, you just send us a file. We'll print your book at a really low rate that now you're making 50 cents or to a dollar, depending on the tier that we give to the stores. And you're making money per book for once. Are you rolling in dough? No, but let's face it, single issue comics has never been a $1 million campaign for most people.
Yeah.
Um, but just you're making money now and you're getting into retailers and stores. And then the retailers, that's trickling down to them. Instead of me hoarding that money, I'm trickling it down into giving higher percentage discounts to the retailers so more of them will jump on board. The publisher makes money, I make money, the retailer makes money, and it's a healthy industry where all three aspects are succeeding. Instead of grifting and picking the bones off the carcass, and I take mine and move on while you fall apart. I don't think that's healthy for the industry as a whole going forward. And I want the industry to thrive. And I
Yeah.
also think in the long run, it'll help the more indies get out there and people see that they're not this back of the catalog, that they're passionate, new ways of telling stories and inventive ideas, and they're not regurgitating the same thing over and over again that mainstream is doing right now. I think that's just going to help bring readership back. It's going to bring more creativity into this corner of media again. And I think if you give it time and you nurture it and you give it a chance, it'll thrive. But it's up to the fans. It's not up to retailers. It's not up to publishers. It's up to the fans. If you love Wonder Duck, if you love tragedy, if you love Get Your Meds books like Shameless Plug, you have to tell one, you have to back our campaigns, and two, you have to tell those retailers you want them in your pull list so the retailers are confidently buying them, knowing they're going to make money off of them. You guys hold the power. So if you're tired of the same old stuff, look at the catalog of Filbo distribution. Go check out what we have. Of we have over 80 publishers and over 100 solicitations in each catalog of awesome books that maybe you've never heard of. So instead of scrolling through Kickstarter all night, or while you're scrolling through Kickstarter all night, go check out our catalog. You might find something new, whether it's Zenoscope or Antarctic Press, or heavy metal, it could be Get Your Meds or Filbo.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you and I, we chat outside of this stuff. You know, we become friends, dude. Like we've actually, you know, we like to talk shop and you know, we
And
talk about
Knicks.
a lot of, yeah, yeah. We talk. What you say?
And the Knicks.
And the Knicks, correct, correct. Yes, let's go Knicks. But I think that, yeah, man, I think a lot of what you're saying it rings true, man. I think that it really does fall on the fans. But to your point, also, we have to be able to give them something that they can afford and that they feel like I'm getting good quality for the money I'm spending, right?
Right.
And the only way and this is why I feel like it's such a good thing that you've done is because you are making that affordable for us as far as with the printing because printing is where a lot of that cost comes in, dude. Like, and listen,
It's
I
so
distribute
much.
it through you, and I appreciate you, you know, taking on, you know, the Adventures of Wonder Duck for the 8 issues that I had, and we distributed it, and they're still available. They're still there. You guys can pre-order. I mean, you can still order the books,
Reorder at any
but
time. Yes.
yeah, you can reorder them. But getting those things printed cost me a lot of money. It did. And to be honest, like, did I make a lot of money off of that? No, I didn't. And why? A lot of that was because printing was so expensive. Um,
Mhm.
and you know, if you can somehow, you know, provide that for the indie, I think that that's going to help us a lot. And listen, you're taking a big swing, and we appreciate you for that, dude. We really appreciate you for that, man.
Well, thank you for that. But honestly, I just, I don't do it for glory accolades. I'm not looking to be famous someday. I'm not even looking to be rich. I just want to do what I love, just like you do, just like all these publishers do. And if
Yeah.
I could be part of the solution instead of part of the problem, I want to be.
Hmm.
Um, so we took hard looks at our numbers, and we're gearing as low as we can go. I mean, paper
Yeah.
just went up again May 1st, but we're doing what we can. I'm still making a profit. Am I going to be rich off of this? No, but it's okay. I'm doing what I love, and I'm helping people along. And if I was to leave a legacy or be known for something, just know that I did my best, and I really was trying to bring everybody along with me. I want to build me up, of course, but that doesn't mean I can't build you up at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. No, and you used a great word, legacy, right? And I think that, you know, we're going to be talking about Papa and the reason why that you said legacy and it triggered like the whole Papa story because it's a beautiful story about legacy in a sense, right? It's about dads and it's about, you know, like you mentioned it a lot, like how dads sometimes are the unsung heroes, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that, obviously, a lot about that, because I do want to talk about the campaign. But I want to talk a little bit about your creative talents, right? You are obviously you're an entrepreneur. You have your publishing. DM Ray is in the chat, who you publish his book, you know, the Madcaps. Big huge shout out to DM Ray, who's also a big supporter of indie comics. Um, but your books, man, you started with tragedy. I saw you have a mask now for tragedy, but tell me a little bit about tragedy, and we'll walk through your catalog, man, because you do have a lot of stories that you still want to tell. And I know that it's tough because making comics is hard. But tell me a little bit about tragedy, and we'll walk through your catalog here.
The quick synopsis is: take Big Trouble in Little China, Kill Bill, Boondock Saints, throw it in a blender, and then add some new stuff that I came up with, and you've got tragedy. She's an Irish assassin facing her own inner demons and struggles. I wanted a real character, a real hero that has their own conflicts,
Hmm.
that doesn't win every fight, that doesn't beat every adversary, but you may not win every fight, but you're in every fight. And that's all of us who get up every friggin' day to face the world. So, when it kicks us in the teeth. So tragedy is fighting assassins, and there's Chinese mysticism and martial arts and metahumans and everything. While it's also character development, getting to know this guarded person who's living a life that she doesn't like and doesn't want to live and doesn't think she can have any better. So it's her journey into becoming a real hero and finding herself and being happy with herself. And it's a female protagonist that I think has been missing for many years now. They keep making them either these like bitchy girl bosses that are flawless and everything comes easy to them, which is not realistic. I created a female that is real. She has struggles, she has insecurities, she has doubts, just like any man. We get up every day and we're like, what? Why? What am I doing here? I mean, do I want to do this? Can I just curl up in a fetal position and go to sleep? But we get up. You don't have a choice. You get up, and that's her. You get up.
Were
That's it.
you was she always going to be like was that character always going to be a female character, or
Yeah.
did you kind of like think about, okay, is it going to be, it was always going to be a female character?
Yeah, the reason is like I look at my wife. I'm married
Okay.
to a woman that's 14 years younger. She looks like a supermodel, and I look at her doubts and insecurities, and I think she's crazy, of course, but they're real.
Mhm.
And I've never met a woman, no matter how beautiful they were, that realized how beautiful they were, how strong they were, how capable they were, you know? And they struggle with that. Do a lot of men these days? Sure. But men are usually just kind of plow through, we kind of quietly just strap on our boots, do our thing. But women are dealing with a lot of other things that we're not, the hormone changes, physical things. So it's hard for them. So I wanted to be a female because I really wanted to. I mean, I admire and respect my wife, and a lot of my wife is in her. Some of me is in her, because at the end of the day, male, female, we're still all people. But I did. I wanted her to be a female because mostly, again, I hate the way they're writing. They write females as like the worst of men these days. You know?
I was going to ask you about that. Let me just go to the chat real quick,
Oh,
'cause
cool,
people are
Masood.
saying hello as they come in. So DM Ray says Gran Torino, Nobody, History of Violence is Papa. So if you guys are familiar with those movies, howdy from
It's
Dan.
even more than that. You are not going to see what Chuck Dixon didn't even see the ending of that book coming. I'm just telling you.
Victor, what's going on,
I
my
think they're a
man?
great artist.
Yeah, Masood Ali. Ali's 14 years younger than I am as well. Oh,
Let
shit,
me tell
cool.
you something. I don't know Masood other than he comes on my posts once in a while. And that man has said some of the most insightful, kindest comments I've ever received. Uh, and he points out things that I struggle with and I deal with that other people either don't notice, don't care, or don't give credit for. And I appreciate him so much because I don't even know the man. I've never had a conversation with him. And he's just been so insightful and really cool and really kind. So God bless you and your family, man. Thanks for being one of the good ones in the world. And we need more people like you. Sorry, I had to
Yeah,
say that.
that's all right. Papa issue one was fantastic. I can't wait for issue two. So thank you, Mr. Medina, my brethren. No, I was going to ask you, Phil. So in writing a female character, were you at all intimidated by, man, am I going to get this right? Like, how am I going to write a female character as a male? Like, did you find any kind of pressure to get that right?
No. I'm 53 years old. I've met a lot of personalities in life. I'm obviously married to my wife for years. I know her. I've You don't have to be that gender to understand that gender. You just have to listen. And I think I've listened throughout the years to different people, whether it's women or you. I've gotten to know you as a person and how you, to where I'm pretty confident in how you would respond to certain situations at this point, right? We all have our way of handling things and our how we see things. So if you just pay attention, you have your studies all over the world in front of you. The people you walk by, listening to other conversations, the people that you're close to, the people that you're casual with, and you see how they interact. And if you just pay attention enough, you'll understand the human element first. And that's the thing. No matter what, male or female, we're all human
Mhm.
and have those similar character traits there. And then sometimes there are offshoots based on gender, life experience, etc. So just paying attention, being on the planet and listening to people, and not just when you're not the main character of your life in everything you do, you start to understand other people and pay attention to them because you're not focused on you. You're like, all right, what is this person going through? What are they thinking? Why?
Yeah. I think that as writers, we look at the world through a different lens. I think we're more tuned in to like the things that people maybe don't see. And everything becomes a story or like a conversation you're listening to. You're like, interesting. And you start learning from people. Like you said, you become a pretty good judge of character at that point because you are so in tune to seeing what makes somebody tick, or how do I create a character that's real. I'll say this also, man, to add to just your writing in a sense, and being a writer, I think you have some of the best dialogue, bro. Like that's
Thank
something
you.
that I
Wow.
really,
Thank you.
really enjoy
Thank
about
you.
your writing is your dialogue. And as a letterer, when I'm lettering these books, I appreciate that because
Thank
it
you.
really sounds like people talking. And people sometimes they say, that's not natural. It's not, but somehow
Right.
you find a way to make it sound natural while still interesting. And depending on your story, your dialogue changes. Are there any like tips or anything that you can maybe give to somebody who's maybe watching who's like, damn, I struggle with that? What makes it so, it's because it looks easy. What makes it look, how do you make it look so easy, I guess?
Well,
The dialogue.
the same way they'll tell an artist to go out to the park, sit on a bench, quietly observe people in their natural body language and draw that. You start to learn anatomy subconsciously. You start to remember it. Muscle memory comes in. You start to see how people physically behave. The way I'm waving my hands, talking right now. Some people are
Hmm.
demonstrative.
Mannerisms,
Um,
yeah.
it's the same thing with personality. Pay attention when you're talking to people on how they responded and why. Honestly, I've always had a good sense of introspection.
Hmm.
I'm not a perfect person and I make mistakes, but I often look back at it and go, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I react that way? Why was I passive aggressive in that moment? And was I in fact passive aggressive? So I hate to say this, but you have to have a little introspection first of all.
Sure.
And the other thing is just listen to people. They're all around you, man. There's millions of different personalities day in and day out giving you information. And the other thing I would say is I never go into a story concerned with anything. I pretend I'm sitting in the bunk beds with the blanket down and I'm telling my kids a story and I'm just telling a story. You know why? Because nobody has to see the script and I can change it 500 times before I show anybody. There's no pressure.
Okay.
Just write.
Okay. I was going to ask you when you say, I don't feel like, what did you mean by that? Okay. But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Just write. I mean,
Right.
people get worried. And I think the reason why people get intimidated and worried by writing, which I did, is because what if I'm not good enough? And you're afraid of
Well,
your opinion of your writing.
for
You're not
sure.
afraid of anybody else's because they don't need to see it. You're afraid I suck. And I get that. But you got to get to a point where you get past your own head and say, I don't know if I suck or not. I'm just going to give this my best shot. I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing. And I can always go back and change it or get feedback or
Mhm.
whatever. When I wrote Tragedy for the first time, it was the first time I really wrote anything. And my wife is a very honest person, but she's very sweet. She doesn't want to hurt anybody, but she's honest.
Yeah.
And I was on my deathbed. I wasn't expected to make it. I was 6 weeks in bed.
Jeez.
And I wrote this for her, and I was starting to recover miraculously by the grace of God. And I asked her to read it, and I was nervous. I was
Hmm.
really nervous. And she read
You
it,
you you were nervous. Why were you nervous?
that she was going to tell me it sucked, that it
That she was
wasn't
gonna
good.
say. Right. Right.
I'm human. We all
Hmm.
have our chink in our armor.
And I feel like her opinion matters, right? Like this
Of
is somebody whose
course,
opinion matters to you. No, I get it. I
the
get
most
it. Yeah.
important person in my life. She's my best friend,
Absolutely.
the mother of my children, our children.
Yeah.
And I respect and love her more than anybody. So, and I knew she'd be honest. I knew she would. If she wasn't, she'd sugarcoat it a little bit, but she'd be honest.
Right. Right.
And she reads it, and I'm sitting there like, well, what does she think? Where is she? What part of the script is she at? What is she thinking? God damn, does this suck?
Bro, you're
um,
you're brave because I would have gave her the book and walked away, and then let's talk about it after you read
nah,
it. Nah, you just stood there.
I'm one
You're
of those
ready to
people.
take
I'll
that.
face it on the chin. I'd rather see the punch coming, man. I want to see the punch coming. Screw that.
Wait, but real quick, let me just post some of these because we have some good stuff here. Papa gets 2 thumbs way up.
Thank you.
Keith said, and women says that men don't listen.
Mm.
This from Masood: you don't have to be gender, race, or age to produce the best work. In a
Yep.
meritocracy, your skills are what matter. Your empathy and being your character's shoes to see their therapeutic and
Agreed.
motivational actions and dialogue. Very, very
Yeah.
well said. I write like a crazy man. All right, good job. Or as the artists look at a new movie that they never saw with the sound off and caption off so they can see lighting,
Nice.
framing, etc. I write for me. Uh, Bunk Bed LL, you have the best audience already. That's your strategy group right there. And Philip Rose is a great writer. He knows how to
Thank you.
craft a story.
But just real quick, Raphael had made a really important point. He said, I write for me. Now, I remember hearing a famous writer said that. And at the time, I didn't understand it. And I was like, that's kind of a shitty, excuse me, that's a crappy thing. Like, what about your fans? And I realized what he was saying once I started writing. It's not that we don't care what the fans think. It's that I can't write worrying about what you'll think, because then I'll never write a cohesive story, because you can't please everybody. Just write what you love to the best of your ability and hope for the best with the people, because you can't please everyone. So you can't possibly be writing thinking, will they like this? Should I help this demographic? Will this be? Because now you're marketing, you're not writing, you're not creating.
I think to your point, and I want to get back to what you were saying because we kind of sidetracked. But to your point, I think that yes, I think when I sit down and write a story, I do start writing it for myself. Once it's completed, I start thinking about how am I going to market this, because I do want people to read it. So then the marketing, the business hat gets put on, and now you got to think about how am I? Yes, I wrote this for me, but how is this going to now go
Correct.
to a broader audience
But it
so
doesn't
they can
affect
accept
it
it?
doesn't affect the
It shouldn't
story. It
affect. Yeah,
affects
it
the
shouldn't. Yeah.
selling of the story. Exactly.
Correct. Correct. It should not. But let's go back to what you were saying about UI. So you gave it to her. You said, "Honey, read it." You did. You stood there. You wanted to take the punch. So what happened?
So she looks up, she goes, it was actually good. And some people take that as a backhanded compliment, but I didn't, because I understand what she was saying. She was saying, I was worried that this wouldn't be good, but I'm relieved that I don't have to lie to you or sugarcoat it. It honestly was good. And that's the
That's
greatest
good. That's
compliment.
nice. That's good.
And real
Yeah.
quick,
That's
not
great.
to take too much time, I have admired Chuck Dixon and Peter David and Chris Claremont, and Howard Mackey and a lot of writers in
Of course.
professional comics for many
Hmm.
years. They're
Hmm.
like my Morgan Freemans and Tom Cruises and Brad Pitts and all these actors, like to the
Yeah,
actor.
for sure.
I went to Peter David, rest his soul, at a show, and I said, would you be willing to read Tragedy 1? And he goes, and I don't know if anybody knew Peter. Peter was Jekyll and Hyde. He was either the sweetest man on the planet, or you got him at the bad time, and he was a curmudgeon. Overall,
Yeah.
good man. Don't get me wrong. But if you got him at that time, he was brutal. And he
Mhm.
looked at me and he said, "You sure you want me to read this? Because I will wipe the floor with you and this if it's no good." And I said, "That's what I want, Peter. I can take it on the chin. I need that, please."
Yeah. Yeah.
As one
Yeah.
of my all-time respected writers do it. So he comes back. I come back next day. I go, "Did you read it?" He goes, "Yeah, I read it." And he tosses the book across the table. I'm like, "Oh crap." So I'm like, "Lay it on me." And he goes, "It was good." I go, "What?" He goes, "It was better than most things on the shelf." He goes, "I have nothing to complain about." He goes, "I tried to find something and I couldn't. It was good." I go, "Holy crap, Peter, do you have a fever?" He goes, "Get out of here."
That's great,
Chuck
man.
Dixon
That's
said
awesome.
Tragedy was written well, and that Papa's dialogue was so real and so good, and that he
Yeah.
did not see that ending coming. So and Howard Mackey liked Tragedy, and I'm really flattered that these pros like that. I mean, Chuck Dixon just
Hmm.
had a movie on one of his books.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest, the greatest, when I knew that I had something, was when the most critical person I've ever met read and reviewed Tragedy 1.
Mm-hmm.
My father had a
Mm-hmm.
68-year-old man cry and quit writing because he was so brutal in his critique. My father did not have a filter or hold back, and he did not give a crap what you thought. Like, he had no empathy or compassion. He was just, this sucks, and this is why it sucks, and he would just go off. So, and he thought comics were stupid. My mother convinced him, just read the script, support your son, you dumbass. So I sent him Tragedy 1. I'm at the table with my wife, and I'm sorry, I won't keep this too long. We'll move on.
Yeah, yeah. You're
And
you're making this really long, Phil. You're making this really long.
I get this email from, well, I'm more important, so no, I'm just kidding. I get this email from my father while I'm sitting talking to my wife, and I go, oh crap. So I read the email. I started crying. I
Oh,
did. I started crying. And my wife goes, "Is that your father's review?" I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Is it that bad?" So
oh,
I
she
just
thought it
hand
was
her the
bad.
phone. I hand her the phone, and she reads it, and she looks up at me, and she looks at it, and she looks at me. She goes, "This is your father?" I said, "Yeah." He said it was so well written. My father grew up knowing the Westies, which were the Irish Mafia in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Irish Mafia are in this book. Now, they're gone, and my father didn't work for them. He just knew them.
Hmm.
And he said that the dialogue was so real, and the book moved, and the action was fun, and she was interesting, that he tried so hard, because he didn't want me to have a chip on my shoulder, to have something to knock the chip. He didn't want me to get a swelled head. That's, he was old school. That I had to find something to knock you. He goes, and I just couldn't. He
Mm.
goes, I loved it, and I want to see script 2. I
Wow.
cried. I cried. And
Wow.
that's when I knew I don't give a damn. I think I'm doing something all right here. I may not be the best writer in the world, but I got something.
Right.
Something.
Yeah. It's amazing how something like that, the right person, right? The words from the right person can motivate you or kill you. You know what I mean? Like, if had he come back with something totally different, something it probably would have killed you. It probably would have been like, what the
Me,
hell?
no, I just would have worked on it, made it better. I just would
Yeah,
have
you
listened
would have.
to him. I
Okay.
would, dude, look what I'm doing now. You think I don't get knocked down? You don't think people are punching me all day?
No, for sure. But
I'm,
I think it
I
would
get
have had.
motivated. It would have hurt.
That's
And
what I'm
I
saying.
probably
I
would,
think it would have hurt you.
I would have had a pity party for 10 minutes. But how
10
I'm built,
minutes.
you know me.
Yeah.
I get a pity party for 5-10 minutes, then I get pissed off. Well, I got a problem now. How do I fix this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then,
We gotta calm you down a little bit, Phil. We gotta
yeah,
calm you down.
I'm a
Hope,
passionate man.
no, I know.
You'll get my shirt off my back or my foot in your ass. That's all up to you. And
Oh,
you know
DM Ray says, if I don't think it's cool first, speaking of stories or art or whatever he's doing, and do it for me, then why would anyone else like my writing?
right.
Ryan, big shout out. What's up, Ryan? If you love the art, others can feel that and reciprocate. And Masood says Peter David was a Dragon Con Masquerade host in 2007. He was an inspiration to several artists and writers alike. Kiet says, what did you write for Peter David to read? Would that
He
material
read
be
Tragedy
something published
1.
someday? Tragedy 1. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. And then View says, hey, everyone.
Oh.
Hello. And a shirt wrapped foot. Sorry. So you have Tragedy, and obviously you have so many other stories in your brain. You've actually another story that I actually lettered for you, which I enjoyed a lot. Two of them. One of them was
Shaman.
Shaman was one of them, and the other one was what I can't remember the name. The
Arcane
Arcade Syndicate.
Syndicate.
Yeah. So tell me about those two stories really quick, and how you came up with those two stories.
So, Arcane Syndicate, I came up with these ideas based on, you know, classic mythical monsters, and I didn't want to use any other like public domain or anything, but it wouldn't have worked without them. So the funny thing is, I told my wife this idea of taking the universal monsters, classic monsters, you can't call them universal really because they're, it's copyright, but and turn them into a super group, and not in the way that DC did it, different. And my wife was like, I don't know if that's going to go over, blah, blah, blah. So I wrote the first script, and she goes, oh my God, I love this. This is like so much fun. She's like, I love this as much, if not more than Tragedy. She loves the book. So I did different things with the monsters. In my world, Vlad the Impaler, Dracula, and Nosferatu all exist, and they think the other vampires the imposters, and they want to wipe them out. So there's a vampire war.
Right.
Frankenstein's monster is a descendant of the Dr. Frankenstein, who was dying of cancer, and through black magic and science transferred his brain into the Frankenstein's monster. So he's strong, but he's smart. He leads the team. The Phantom of the Opera has a keyboard guitar with a blade on it, and he uses it to cast magical spells, kind of like a bard. The Invisible Man is like you don't know if he's a double agent, what he's got going on.
Right.
There's a lot of different things going on. Issue 2, which is coming out in fall, if you remember the original Frankenstein movie, he drowns the little girl. Well, that little girl comes back as a spirit of vengeance and possesses the other monsters and trying to kill Frankenstein's monster. So we're going to have fun. They're going to fight the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, awesome. The 7 deadly sins. What if a vampire gets the Necronomicon, a Book of the Dead? Then they would rule all the vampires because they're all undead. So cool stuff coming in Arcane Syndicate. And David River is killing it on the art. Yeah, and February Ferdion on the colors.
Yeah, beautiful.
And
these are the same artists from the first issue?
Yes.
Both of them? Same
all
team?
Same
nice.
Team.
Yeah, no, beautiful, beautiful stuff, dude. And then you have Shaman.
Yeah. So Shaman is Samuel Boone is the son of a Baptist minister, and he has telepathic and telekinetic abilities, very powerful. He's 22 years old. And because he's raised in the church, he's been taught to use them for good. So he heals people. Using his telepathy, he will take a codependent mind that's a drug addict or whatever and alter their perception of codependency so they're no longer codependent. And then he'll pull the drugs out of your system telekinetically through your pores. So he does these things to heal people. And unfortunately, a large pharmaceutical company's sales over the years have gone down in Alabama badly because now he's got thousands flocking to be healed. Everything from nicotine addiction to diabetes, he's helping people. And they have an under the table deal with the Mexican cartel for the opioids and the narcotics and stuff. So they're like, look, we need this problem taken care of. You need to take care of it, and we can't be involved, if you know what I mean, you know what we mean.
Mm-hmm.
So this kid gets hunted by Mexican cartel assassins. And the thing is, I wrote it from a perspective of just because you have a power doesn't mean you understand how to wield it. He's a child. He's a kid. He's 22. All he's known is good people in life. And now he's on the run, alone, scared by professional murderers, you know?
That's
And it
awesome.
doesn't help that they actually hit him with a trank that he got out of him, but it suppressed his abilities. And he's on the run.
Is there any crossover? Are there any crossover plans for like that or and tragedy? Like is Shaman in the same universe? In other words,
Yes, Shaman and Papa are both in the tragedy. The only book that is
yeah.
not, and I might change my mind, in the tragedy universe, the Filbo universe, is Withered. Everything
Okay.
else
Oh,
exists in
everything
her
else.
world. Even the five
Awesome.
titles I just wrote the scripts for.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. Wow. Okay.
I've
Nice.
written over 80. I've written over 80
You've
scripts,
written.
and I know I wrote a short story prose book, and now I'm 23 chapters into a fantasy novel.
Yeah, you're a busy guy. I want to apologize to Bo because I completely messed up the
Yeah,
pronunciation.
I told. I
Uh,
was saying it was Bo.
and Raphael says, "Man, that mask you added for the Papa campaign looks beautiful. Perfect
Thank
segue,
you,
Rap.
but we need you all to back it
Yes,
and get that mask.
yes.
We
And
need
so
to get
let's.
Papa funded. I made a promise to my dad, and I'm not trying to manipulate anybody with emotions, but I really want to make this promise come
Well,
true.
no,
So
no.
please get us there.
Let's get emotional. I want to talk about Papa. Papa's a beautiful story, dude. I think that what I loved about Papa, and everybody can have, obviously an opinion about different about the characters they read or the books they read. For me, um, it touched me because we all have relationships with our parents, and some may have good relationships where they look at their dad and he's a hero. Some may have relationships with their parents where maybe they don't talk to each other. Some have relationships with their fathers where, like, yeah, he was around, but it wasn't, whatever. So, but I think that what you did with this book is, regardless of what relationship you have with your dad, this thing hits every single one of those people
Thank you.
because it's that powerful. Like when you think about your father and you think about Bruce and his son and their relationship, aside of what's going on in the world of this story, I think that to me, that was the relationship that I really, really loved the most. So tell us a little bit about, for those who maybe have never heard of what Papa is or what this book is, what is it about? And then we'll talk about the inspiration, but what is the book about? Like, what's the pitch?
So Bruce Rogers is a 75-year-old Vietnam vet living with he's widowed, living with his son, daughter-in-law, and his granddaughter Melody. Melody's 12 years old. Um, Bruce and his son, they have an strange relationship. His son resents Bruce because he feels Bruce sheltered him his whole life, and he blames Bruce now for the boring life he leads. He's just working, a lot of hours. He's not able to be there for his daughter the way he wants to, and he's just a slave to the grind, the machine, and he blames his father.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get older, you're slowing down a little bit. You get to be treated like a burden in a way. And Papa's close to his granddaughter, though. And Papa has a secret that is the reason he was very sheltering of his son, that his son doesn't understand. And this story is partly about familial relationships between a man and his son,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also about the silent sacrifices that men make every day that go unnoticed. I adore women. I appreciate them. Without them, there's no life. but they will get flowers. We will address it. We will talk about what women deserve or don't get or do get. But we don't really talk about men. Whether you're an uncle, a cousin, a brother, a father, we suffer in silence a lot, and that's why less men attempt suicide, but more men succeed at it. We suffer quietly, and I wanted to write something that pays an homage to every man out there that works that job they freaking hate every day, but still comes home and answers the toy phone for their little girl. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
doesn't miss
Yeah.
a play or a
Mhm.
football practice for their son. And that son may not see those good things and blame their parent, but you come to a point where that boy becomes a man and he starts to understand his father and realizes he did all that for me.
Yeah.
He may
Yeah.
not have done it perfect, but he did it for me.
DM Ray says the average man gets flowers for the first time at their funeral.
Right? I
Well
mean,
put.
Mother's Day, they get taken out to dinner. Father's Day, we barbecue our own meal.
Yeah.
And we
Exactly.
don't say a word. It's okay. It's all
Yeah.
right. You know why? We take pride in being the protector, the provider, and that's a good enough for us most of the time, you know.
Hmm.
And even single men, someone's relying on them. You know, you don't have to be a husband or a father to be that man. And there's a lot of men out there. So I wanted to tip my hat to those people while writing something that tries to make you understand that we can't blame our parents for everything because at some point you got to grow up and be your own man and your life is yours. And
Uh,
at the same time, it's a comic book, so the last page has a shocking ending that nobody, including Chuck Dixon, sees coming. It's still a comic book.
so that's Papa One. Papa
Yes.
Two is live right now. I got to say, Rap, this is a great pitch right here. Papa's a great Father's Day gift. Get it for your fathers.
I
Let's
didn't
go.
even think about that. The
I
timing
didn't
is right
think
near
I
Father's
didn't
Day.
even think
Yeah, I
about that
know.
either, dude.
I
That's
know.
that's
My
fantastic.
marketing
Good
guy
job.
here.
Good job, buddy. Good job. Yeah, no. So Papa One, like you said, ends in a beautiful cliffhanger, a la the great comics that we love to read from back in the days, right? So now Papa Two. Now listen, spoiler alert. I don't know if you're gonna spoil anything, but talk to me about Papa Two. Are you gonna spoil anything?
A little bit, but
A
not
little
too
bit.
much.
So
I won't spoil the last page, but basically what happens is they Papa and Melody get caught between the Yakuza and the Italian Mafia. The Yakuza try to take a hit on the Italian Mafia at a cafe, and that's Papa and Melody are there, and they get caught in the middle.
mhm,
Which now Melody is captured. She's kidnapped by the Italian Mafia for reasons I can't get into, and
mhm.
Papa has to get her back without divulging his secret that he's kept his whole life. And it's a Silver Age tale. I didn't, we've blurred the lines of heroes so much now that we're comfortable with a hero just killing the bad guy. Real heroes don't want to kill. Real life people don't take a life easily. It's a hard thing to consider. So Papa's not looking to kill anybody, but he has to save his daughter. He has to sacrifice once again for his family, even when his son has no idea what's going on and he still resents him. And he's an older man, and the world is kind of running past him. And Papa's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I got to do it. And that's men. I mean, it's women too, but in this case, we're paying homage to men.
Right.
And that's every good man out there. Are there some shitty men? Excuse me. Yes, but most men are good men. And they don't always have the answers, but we'll figure it out. And we
Yeah.
figure it out knowing that we got this because we don't have a choice.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, no, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. That's the beauty of the story because it's beyond the whole. And listen, it's going to be action packed. I mean, I've obviously
It
the
is.
stuff that I've already worked on for you. It looks incredible. So I'm really and thank you for letting me
You read
read
the
the five
script. Yeah.
chapters so I know what it is. I'm going to share the campaign just so you guys can take a look at what we're talking about here. I know somebody mentioned the tragedy
The
mask,
mask.
and that's why I wanted to
I
kind
added
of
other
share.
things on there. Well, I was on a live stream right before this one. I was
Nice.
doing it while I was on a live stream.
Nice. So this is the campaign. So far right now. Oh, and I see somebody maybe got the mask.
Oh, we got
Um,
more. Thank you.
awesome. Yes. So we're at 1305. The goal is 2500, and that goal is very important because You need to get to that level in order to be able to produce this book, to be able to pay the artist to produce the book. So please make sure you pledge to the campaign. You have 23 days left. Let's go through it really quickly here. The story you mentioned. Now, this was originally going to be 110 pages, and it was going to
Yeah.
be a graphic novel, right? Like you weren't going to break it
Yeah.
up into issues. So
No.
talk a little bit about why the pivot.
So long story short, another script I sent to my father at the time, and he said, "Is this about us?" Because my father, long story short, served in Vietnam. He was 77. He was bench pressing 165 pounds a day. He was a beast, and he was a very scary man. He was very tough. He got arrested for road rage at 75. He wanted to fight a 20-something-year-old. Um, my father had PTSD. He dealt with a lot of anger, and that was a lot of violence in our home. Rally, thank you so much. Seriously, Rally, thank you. Rally bought the mask. He's the first one to get a
Yes.
mask. Thank you.
All
I
right.
thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
He's a great supporter. Thank you so much. So my father asked, "Is this about us?" And I was like, I didn't write it with that intent, but looking at it subconsciously, maybe it was. I
Mm.
drew from us. I mean, it was different elements and dynamics, but it was that tumultuous relationship. My father was 75. He did something he had never done in his life. He humbled himself in front of me in tears and apologized for not only the beatings and the violence, but putting rage in me, making me afraid in my own home and stealing my childhood. And I told him I forgave him. It was okay. I forgave him. He was in tears, and I've never seen this man like that. But
Mm.
yet, it was the strongest thing he ever did, which is the irony.
Right.
So he asked me, "Is there any chance I can see this book before I die?" Because he had just got diagnosed with cancer. And the problem is to make a 110-page graphic novel is about $15,000 if you're going to be paying fair wages to talented artists. As you can see, I always work with good artists,
Yeah. I mean,
great artists.
this page is beautiful, bro.
Which, by the way, he doesn't like me saying this. Too damn bad. To hell with you.
No, 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 don't do it.
Yes.
Don't no 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 don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Why?
Don't do it. Let's continue. Continue with it. Don't do it. No, no.
George is
Don't
a ver-
don't
why?
don't
You
do it,
think people
dog.
are going to try to take advantage
No,
of you?
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's carry on. Let's continue.
Well, I'll get to that later.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I said I don't think I can get it out in time. I tried, but Papa
Mhm.
doesn't have tits, so unfortunately I couldn't. So I tried to release. I was afraid to release them chapter by chapter because the first chapter is so much exposition and it's very dramatic that I thought it might bore the crap out of people that they might
I
not get
remember
to that
this. I
last page.
remember you telling me that. Yeah, I remember that conversation.
And it
Yeah.
was a big concern. Miraculously, everybody's invested in this book. Everybody who's
Mhm.
read it goes, "My God, this was so good." They were invested in all the talking head panels, everything.
Because
And
it's about the writing though, dude. Like, and that's what I was telling you. It's about that dialogue. The way you write the dialogue, dude. Like, you feel like you're reading Chris Claremont. Not to compare it. I mean, maybe. I mean, kudos to you. But I think that what made Chris Claremont's run on the X-Men so good is it's not so much the action or that. It was like the kind of like the soap opera feel of the
the
comic, where you
characters.
wanted to find out what the characters were going to do next
Well,
and what was
don't
going
you
to
want to
happen
be
next.
invested and care about the stakes? You don't care about the stakes if you don't care about the
Correct.
person.
Absolutely. And I think you did a good job building that in the first issue when, he goes to pick her up from school and he does all these things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, even when I read the thing, and I remember having a conversation with you about it, like, man, it's a graphic novel. I don't know if, is it, like you said, like the fear of like, are people going to want to buy the second issue if there isn't anything going on in the first one? But I will say this, and you are good at this as well, you are great at cliffhangers, dude. Like I don't know how
Thank you.
you managed to leave those cliffhangers right where they're supposed to be. And this one, the first issue, has a great freaking cliffhanger. And that's what I think should make everybody buy the second one, because you want to
Thank
know
you.
what's next. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. I've had I
I'm still buying it.
read
Word.
I've had people just say to me, "Dude, I turned that page and when I saw the last page, I literally went, oh shit."
Yeah,
Um,
it's good. It's good, dude.
well,
It's good.
I try not to get into this because I get emotional, but my dad was doing well with the cancer, and unfortunately, a new tumor popped up, and in 5 weeks, it killed him. And he didn't get to see the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I made him a promise that I would put it out. So I'm just trying to get it out. So
Yeah.
not to manipulate anybody, but if you could please just get me to 2,500. I don't want to make money off of it. I
Yeah.
don't care if I don't make a dime. I just want to make the book
Hell yeah, dude.
and honor my word to him, and that's
Yeah.
it.
That's it, man. And that's it. And this book, and listen, it's not even like, like you said, it's not a manipulation. This is a great book. It's a great freaking book. It's well written. Look at these pages, bro. Look at this. I don't know if when I did the thumbnail for the background, this is one of
Yeah.
the one that I put up there is one of my favorite pages, dude. Like just the dialogue between the two characters in that page, I was just like, I thought you had it as one of the preview pages here, and I'm like, damn, maybe I should have asked.
No, it's funny
Asked
because
you.
it's one of my favorite. This and a page from Arcane Syndicate are my most favorite pages. In Arcane Syndicate, where you first meet Vlad the Impaler, I think the
Mm,
dialogue with the art was freaking perfect. It was so
100%,
good. And then
100%.
here, where he meets Asaro, the mafia guy,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of this dialogue. He says, "You got a name?" He's like, "You know my name." And then they're
Yes.
talking, and he's like,
Yes.
"Look, you don't like me. I get it. That's okay." He goes,
Hmm.
"But I'm a man who demands respect, you know?"
Yeah.
And then they would
Yeah.
talk about other stuff, and Papa gets mad and he threatens him, and he goes, "Dude, you got no leverage because
Right.
I got nothing to lose. You got everything to lose.
Yeah.
So stop blowing steam here because I'm not buying it." That's kind of what he's saying. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was very proud of that page. And again, the artwork is the same artist
School.
from Arcane Syndicate. That's David River. That's from issue
Okay.
3,
Right. Right.
right?
Hmm.
Um, so David, in my opinion, has captured the emoting on a face to
Yeah.
match my dialogue
Hmm.
so well that two of my favorite pages of everything I've ever done, he's drawn.
Wow.
He's a little slow at getting a page done, but the results are there. He is phenomenal.
Does he do it all? Does he do the pencils, inks, and the colors, or do you have a
No, he does the
colorist?
pencils and
Okay.
inks, and February Ferdion, who did Arcane Syndicate, colors Papa
Colors
as
as
well.
well.
He's amazing colorist, amazing colorist.
So now I know that when we first started working on this, you had different artists for each chapter because you wanted to get it done.
Right.
Are you still doing the same thing, or are you now going to just
Yeah,
hire like one?
well, I didn't want to fire any artists that were looking to come on
Right,
board, and they all
right.
did such wonderful work that I was like, yeah, we'll just stick with them, and we already have several pages done already, so let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean they're beautiful, bro. Like every time you sent me something, I was like, man, this is freaking nice. Like one page was
Thank
better than the
you.
next. I'm like, holy cow,
The,
this looks insane. It's an
the
insane
one
looking
of the
book.
nicest compliments I ever got, and I take this very humbling. I write like an 80s book, but it's drawn like a 90s book.
That's
And
good.
I love that.
That's
That
great.
is just like, wow, thank you
That's
so
great.
much.
That is great. Let me see here. I think some script writers forget that they are working with an artist and don't take that into account when they are writing the script. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I put dialogue in all my scripts so that, and I give them freedom. I don't, I mean, sometimes I have a specific camera angle or whatever, but I mostly just give them the setting, and I give them the dialogue so they understand the tone, and I let them go to work. You'll get the best work out of your artists if you don't stranglehold them. Let them be a little free. I
Yeah.
mean, when you need something, you let them know it's got to be this way, but also give them a little freedom because if they don't enjoy what they're doing, you're going to see it in the results.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm gonna come back to the mask.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I do want to talk a little bit about what the rewards are for this particular campaign. Uh, but I do want to go back. That mask is looking crazy. So you have the $8 digital issue of choice. So now you can either get one or two, Phil. Is that what you're doing here?
You can get part two, and then there's a pack to get both. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. So
I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to write 65 different tiers. So we kind of did it this way, and you just let us know in a survey.
right, right. Which
Yeah.
one? Yeah, which one you want? Yeah, no, I got you. So you can either get one or two, or you can get both for 14,
Yeah.
which is a great deal. Why not? Just you might as well do that. The physical issue of choice. Same thing here. So you get a physical issue of
And
choice.
all physicals come with the digital too. So
Right, right. Or you can get 28 for both.
Right.
Okay. Which one are you? Which one do you find that people are pledging the most to?
Um, uh, I think straight up issue 2 physical is getting the most right now.
Yeah, yeah. Same thing for me. Like even with my campaign, like I feel like I think between 20 and like 15 and 25 bucks, I think is like the sweet spot for people. I think
Sure.
when they want to pledge to the campaigns. You have add-ons. We talked about Shaman. The
Yep.
$8 digital is available here in this campaign, or you can get a physical copy of the book. I recommend the physical copy. It's just cool to
Which again
just
comes with
collect
the
the
PDF. And I give a
right.
little synopsis of sample pages. So I want people to see.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, this is cool stuff. Yeah. No, I remember these pages. This is freaking insane. Really well done. Who's the artist on this one? Again,
Oh
just
my
that.
God. His name is, I don't know why I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm sleep deprived. Hang on, I'll tell you.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
And
We'll get.
he's very good at emoting as well.
Yes,
Very
I do like this right here, and like that right there is really cool. And then you have
Ruli
the
Akbar.
what is it?
Ruli Akbar. RULLYAKBAR. And the colorist is Fabio. Oh, what the hell is his name? He's got like a long name. Great guy from Brazil.
Yeah, no,
Fabio de
talented,
Silva Bandras is the
talented,
colorist.
talented man.
And
You
the
get the
letterer,
dynamics.
George Medina.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You get the
Yeah.
dynamics here. That's awesome
Yep.
too. I mean, dude, we didn't even talk about the dynamics. That's right. Forgot about the dynamics.
Which is tied to shameless plug. Yeah.
Yes,
When we
it
talk
is.
about shameless plug, which I'd like to talk about that before we go today, if you have time.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh,
sure, man. We're here.
because I read the first one. I'd like to tell you, talk about it. But
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah,
But yeah, no, and the dynamics is one of the books that we're unlocking on my spinner rack because it's now canon in the shameless plug. The dynamics is a comic book that Joaquin read as a kid. Now in the story,
cool.
that's what it is. Arcane Syndicate, so you get that as a tier as well, or as an add-on, I should say, not a tier, but an add-on.
Yeah,
You can add this on as well. Now you can add on again the physical or the or
PDF.
and you get the PDF, right? Withered, this is a really good book, man. Withered is a really good book as well.
Thank you. It didn't get a lot of attention at first, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think it has such a unique synopsis. So
yeah, no,
you can read it though. So
yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, um, that's look at that page, man. That's beautiful. Jesus, dude, that looks painted, bro. Look at that,
now,
gorgeous. Oh man,
unfortunately, we had to change artists for issues 2 and on. But his name is Kleber Souza. He's doing a phenomenal job on
nice.
Withered continuing forward. And we've
And
got
then you,
sketch cards.
yeah, you have some sketch cards. So $30, one of a kind sketch cards by Mike
Yeah,
Mesford.
here's one by Sean Chen that I may add later on to the campaign if we're really struggling. Here's one that's sold. Here's the Sean Chen.
Beautiful. Wow.
It's a one of a kind. It's original art, colored, penciled, inked by Sean Chen,
Damn.
and it's part of the Philbo series. One of a kind, signed by Sean Chen. And then we have this one sold. It's Mike Mez Phillips who's done all that's
That's
tragedy.
nice.
Yeah, it's amazing. They all will
Holy
come in the plastic hard sleeve and the soft sleeve, so you'll be
right.
protected, well
So it's
protected.
protected. Yeah. So it doesn't
And
get damaged.
this is a character that's not been introduced in tragedy yet. It's actually a first appearance. It is this card.
That is dope. Holy cow, man.
Yeah, and it's one of a kind, signed by Mike Mez Phillips. That's not in the campaign, but I can put it on there if someone wants it.
Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff, dude. Damn. So all of these are available. What you have here is available. These
Yeah,
are available.
it's
This one you
two,
said is
two
sold
I
already.
think, but yes.
Okay.
No, Invisible Man sold, Tragedy sold, and was it Nosferatu? No, Reflex, the woman on the top next to the crazy kid with the pigtails.
This
She
one?
sold. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those kids, man. They're from Diary of Dread, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. You also get a Filbo pack you can add on. So you get all of the books.
You
All of
get
the stuff
all the
available.
yeah, except for Dire Dread, you get all the number ones, and you get Papa number 2, so you can get all of those
Nice. And Tragedy 1 through 9 is available for $90.
with some
This,
big name artists, man. Ian
yes,
Churchill, Mark
yes.
Bagley, Chris Picciolo, David Mack, Chance Wolfe, Arden Sif, Jose Luis, and Mike DeBalfo,
Yeah, these are
and David
gorgeous.
River.
Yeah, these are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Tragedy 7 through 9.
Yeah, because some people backed up to 6 on Kickstarter, and then I
Oh,
left
I see.
Kickstarter and I went to direct market,
Smart.
and I didn't want to force them to buy 1 through 6 again. I'm not trying to milk people or fleece them.
Right, right,
So I
right.
offered 7 through 9 for those. And by the way, that's selling very well. People
Good.
that were like, "Oh crap, Tragedy's back on Kickstarter." So
Good. I think, this is, it's one of those things where like there's always that one book that people just gravitate to, right? You have this library, but like tragedy, I think is the one that really people gravitate to. Do you find that, or am I just
yeah,
talking about it?
it's listen, Tragedy has made me well over $100,000 easily so far.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've sold over easily anywhere between 10 and 15,000 copies.
Good for
Not
you,
just
man.
number one, all throughout the first 9 issues. Yeah.
And we started the conversation talking about how you publish other artists, other creators,
Yes.
and this is one of the books that you publish.
I got to be
Nice.
honest with you. It's really criminal how his campaigns have gone down. Night
Mm,
is a really solid book. If you
yeah,
like, it's taking urban street heroes with fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons fantasy kind of. It's well written. The illustrations, the art are great. Good characters. Bad guys are pretty cool. Rogues gallery, and
yeah,
it's nice. You get the bad guys got their asses handed to them, and they have to come back and fight, like Empire Strikes Back. It really doesn't get the love it deserves, and I feel bad for Guido because he puts his heart into this, and his
yeah.
campaigns have not been. They've funded, but they're not funding well. Like they're not really doing
No,
a
I hear
lot.
you.
So I wanted to put it on here because people need to start paying attention to it. It's a good book.
Yeah, no, no, it really is. And then you have the $100 hardcover tragedy sequential art edition. For those who don't know what this is, what is the sequential art
So this
edition?
sold out. The campaign is sold out. It was great,
Oh, really? It's
and
gone.
yeah.
Oh,
So this will be a
wow.
second printing, but the if anybody remembers the IDW artist editions, it's a big 11 by 17
I've seen it.
hardcover book. It's huge and it's 190 pages,
Hmm.
and it has the first 5 issues of Tragedy, all the interiors in it scanned. Like the at 11 by 17, the way we receive the art.
Hmm.
And I don't want to sell a lot of these covers, obviously. I've started to sell some of them, but not the big ones, and a lot of people want them. So I was like, well, why don't I offer all these big name covers like Bill Sienkiewicz, Chris Bachalo, David Mack, Will Spatasio, Ian Churchill, at the size of the original art, raw scans, so it's a facsimile, but it looks just like the real original
Hmm.
art in
Hmm.
this book. So you have that art gallery of covers, and it went over really well. People loved it. We sold out on it. I'm going to tell you now, I'm very proud of the way this book came out. It is a gorgeous book, and it is heavy. You could kill an intruder with this thing.
It is heavy, bro. It
Um,
is a beautiful book. And
and check it out.
that's what I miss about like when people used to like obviously digital art is out there and digital artists and they do all the, but you miss that original art. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like so these books are going to be far and few between. I mean, obviously you can print them out at that size, but the actual, art is gone. The real,
right.
the original art is gone. But yeah,
By the
this
way,
is this is a beautiful book.
Kenny Calderon just said with Shazam. That's what he says up. He is the what's up. That's the artist for the cover to Dynamics that's being sold here. Great artist,
Oh yeah.
great
Hey, what's up,
guy.
Kenny?
He is one of the people. Let me tell you something about Kenny real quick. You should hire him not just because he's a great artist and a professional, but he's a great human being. This
He's
guy
awesome.
has supported me and believed in my mission from day one.
Mhm.
And he always felt I'm backing Phil because I like Phil. He's my friend. He's a good guy, and it's quality stuff. But I also know where this guy's headed. That's his mentality, and I cannot thank guys like Kenny enough for. I mean, really, truly feeling like Phil's a guy that you should. He's a horse you should be backing.
Mhm.
So thanks to Kenny, and you should support Kenny just because he's professional, talented, and all around great dude.
Yeah, no, he's awesome, man. I met him a couple of times, and he's always great.
He
Now these are
is
still locked, so we got to unlock some of these bad boys. Free PDF horror story, 39 Cedar Lane, which is a great story as well. That's in Diary of Dread, right?
These are all the Diarrhea of Dread stories. You'll literally get the entire $25 200 157-page book in PDFs if we can unlock them.
That's awesome, bro. Ah,
And that's
there's
the
the page.
page.
There's the page. There it
That's the
is.
page you were talking about.
Yes, this is it. Yeah, it's great. Look, I
I
mean,
mean, look
the
how David
artwork
has
is
him getting out of the car
right.
with
Yeah,
the loafers.
yeah.
Ah, good
I
stuff,
love the
man.
angle, dude. Like, the way he
Yeah.
played with the
And
angle.
you notice I didn't ask him to do this. This is his artistic talent. It's slightly from a worm's eye view, so
Yes,
he looks
yes,
bigger than he is. That's
yes.
the whole point. You
It
want the
is.
perspective of this dude is a somebody.
Yeah, no, it is. Even the car in the first panel, the way it looks pulling
Yep,
up to this place,
big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this right here, like that pose, the way he's doing his like,
Yep.
yeah, the sun coming through, like it really, I mean, the attention to detail on this page is insane.
The
And
two of
like I
them
said,
together, and then knowing a letterer that knows how to place,
oh, thank you,
it's
my friend.
golden.
Thank you.
You could have, if you weren't the talented letterer you are, you could have ruined this page. And
Well,
an inexperienced letterer would have ruined this page.
yeah, when I looked at this, I'm like, I can't, I didn't want to cover any of this thing, dude. Like,
I know.
I love the fact that he left this much room up top, and that again, it goes to the artist knows what he's doing because he left enough room for that up there. Like he obviously read the script.
But it wasn't easy in some of them, man.
No, it wasn't. No. But this is a beautiful page, dude. Beautiful page. Oh, you have a lot of preview pages.
I'm showing from each chapter all the
Yeah.
different artists.
Oh yeah, these are great.
That's chapter 4. And chapter 4 is where it really gets raw.
Mm,
Like where stuff
yes.
really
Yes.
major stuff happens. 4 and 5 are like wow. But stuff
Yeah.
happens in 2 and 3, of course, but it's all coming to a climax there.
Yeah. No, this is great. All of
This
these
is
pages.
where Papa starts to figure out that she was kidnapped and by who.
Right.
He has to do a little work.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Rodrigo, Rod Rodolfo Ramos, who did some work for me in Diary of Dread. He's doing a book for me called Displaced, and he's doing chapter 5, which very happy with the how it all wraps up. Very
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. No, it's great, dude. Man. See the emotion, man. It's I love the book, man. And this is the
Chow
team.
Marcus is the artist of issue 2, and he's the team here. He's on the team.
Nice.
I
There you
don't know
go.
where the rest of the graphics went. Kickstarter is very weird. I was up. You were up there. I was up. You're
I
up
know
there on mine.
you're usually up there. Yeah, exactly.
You are too.
Did
I
you
don't
change
know.
your picture?
No, not yet. It's still the one where I'm really fat. But
Uh,
your picture is there too. I don't know where the hell it went.
I don't know.
And
It
February.
is. It's weird, man. It's weird. But let me go back to the top because I do want to talk about this mask, dude. So you just added this. Let's go. I'm making everybody dizzy right now. There it is. Man, talk about this mask, dude. I love the packaging too, bro.
All right. Yeah. So I had gotten a lot of requests. The people love the design of Tragedy. I'm very proud of it. And by the way, that's Ian Churchill's art on the cover of the box. By far, Ian is just one of my favorite all-time artists. I got him and Wilson, a bunch of other my top artists, and I got to work with both of them. So happy. But this depiction of tragedy was just so unfriggin' believable.
It's
The mask,
sick.
the pose. Anyway, so Rob Powers, who illustrates Dynamics and is married to the product manager, Maura, that works with me at Philwell Distribution, who's soon to be a minority percentage owner. She's a great designer, and Rob is too, and he's a great artist. Rob drew the mask for me to do a glow-in-the-dark cover, which went over really well. Great cover.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody kept asking, I would love a mask like they did the quarter owls for Batman. I love a mask. I love a mask. I love a mask. Well, let's see if you put your money where your mouth is, all of you that said you love a mask. So I went to Nick Garber, who does Apogee Comics, and he has, what is it? Not Shadowhawk. Is it Shadowhawk? Anyway, he's a great guy, does great stuff. And he was able to 3D print a mask. And it took us time, but we perfected it. And we even have the black mesh over the eyes and mouth. And he was able to 3D mask. That's a real, it's a real mask in that
It's
image.
a real
It's
mask. Yeah.
there.
Hmm.
And I said to Maura, I need you to design the package for me because I want it boxed and packaged properly.
Hmm.
She did, and that's the design. Now, is it a mock-up right now? Yes, but that's what the box will look like
Hmm.
unless something goes wrong. But that's the packaging. And she did the mock-up for me and put it in there. Uh, Rob did the font logo for Tragedy, and then Maura turned it into a 3D logo. And on the back, you'll see the ballerina and everything. So the two of them are an amazing dynamic duo.
No, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And
No.
if you need graphic design, logo design, website design, you need to contact me or Maura directly. But Maura is fantastic. Look what
She
she did. And I
very
just posted
talented.
another picture that she did that's just freaking incredible.
Yeah. No, she's talented, man. She is talented,
She
man.
can do
This
your
is good.
Kickstarter graphics for you, no problem. And
Yeah.
your page will look so freaking professional.
Nice. And these are t-shirts that you've added as well.
Yes.
Yeah, these look great.
I had people tell me I like T-shirts. Can you get us T-shirts? And I did these on one campaign, and I sold a few. I'm
Okay.
not usually one to do all the paraphernalia. I want the books out there, but I have to be honest with you. People are asking for it, so I want to give them what they want. But I really need Papa funded.
Yeah.
I really feel bad because I'm not trying to emotionally manipulate anyone, but it's so important to me more than anything that I get these books funded and I can produce them. And I'm
That's
spending
cool.
so much money and time invested into my publishing and print on demand. I don't have the money I have, to produce these books. So I really
Right.
need people to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. No,
I
I
don't
mean
care if it ended at 2501 and I made
right.
that dollar. I don't care. I just want to be able to pay the artist and the colorist, and George is doing it for free because it's for my father,
You're-
and he's being very kind, and he won't take money. I keep trying to shove money
I'm
down his
not.
throat, and he won't take it. So do me a favor, pledge on shameless plug because George is a phenomenal human being, and it's a well-written, good story that your kids can enjoy.
This is so you also get a blanket.
Yeah, we did this. I have the blanket in the living room. I could see if you want me to run and get it. I can show you. But it's awesome. It's
No, it
beautiful.
is.
It's
It,
like a fleece polyester
it is
mix
like
blend.
it's so cool. Yeah, no,
It's
it really
soft.
is.
And
Yeah,
Kit was here before. Kit Wynn, he has one. He could tell you. And it's
yeah.
50 inches by 60 inches, so it's big
It's a big
and it's
boy.
comfy. My kids love it, and it's got a lot of the different covers on it.
Yeah, no, this looks. Listen, man, the campaign, you always do a good job with these campaigns, dude. Like you put so much work into these things, and the books are fantastic books, man. They
Thank
really
you.
are. They really are. So yeah, no, definitely please pledge to the campaign. You know, we what do you have? You have till June 27th. June 27th at 10:35 p.m. is when the campaign ends. That's a Saturday. So yeah, if you're watching, if you check out the campaign.
You won't be disappointed.
You
Please,
won't.
guys, I'm telling you,
You
you'll get
won't.
a return on your investment. You'll get a new story that you really enjoy that's fresh and new. If you're looking at an old man, it's called Papa. It is not what you think it is. It is so much more, but you'd have to get that to find out. And when you get to that last page of issue 1, I'm telling you, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna want it, and you're gonna look forward to it. Just please trust me. It's a good return on your investment, whether it's an $8 PDF, $15 physical, buy both books, whatever. Just please, you're going to love the book. I'm telling you.
Nah, you are, dude. And the book. So how far, as far as the production goes, like how far along are you on that second one? You need obviously you started some of the production obviously for each page, but I think each chapter you have what 2 or 3, right? That you did. Is that what you
There's
originally?
5 chapters, and I did two pages for each, 3 pages
Right,
for one of them.
right,
Um, Normally, I have my books done before the campaign. I don't have the money right now. I'm really trying to invest in creating a worldwide distribution and print on demand, and that's where my money's going. So I really need you this time. The artist has been very kind, and he's actually working on pages, knowing that he's not getting paid until it funds. So it better fund.
right.
And I think he did the first 2 that are sampled here. They're all completed, but he's penciled out already the first 3 pages, and it's going to be inked by Gary Girout. The artist he only pencils. He doesn't ink his stuff. So
Gotcha.
Gary Girout will be inking it. but that 2,500 will be enough to pay the colorist, the inker, and the artist for the remaining 19 pages that had to be done,
Right.
or
Yeah.
20 pages, whatever. So if we can get that, what is it? What do we need? $1,199,
Mhm. Yep.
please, please.
Yeah. Well, we're almost
Don't
there.
make me sweat.
I
I
know.
smell when
I
I
know.
sweat. I'm old.
And there's 22 days left, so please make sure you back the campaign. It's a great book, dude. I
You
really
know my
appreciate you coming on and talk. I thought I had sent you the link, and I realized I send you what to post for the YouTube, but not your
right.
actual link. And I'm like, oh man, what a
I was like, is
jerk!
this guy? Did he forget? Did he?
No, I was like, I'm gonna wait till he comes in because I came
Listen,
on a little early and stuff.
I
But
know you
yeah,
got to go, but I'm just going to say this right now, and I'm being very serious. I met George because he
okay.
does a show with Sam Vera. Um, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank to the name of the show.
Catch the craze, catch the craze.
Catch the
Yeah.
Craze. Thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I went on the show, and I really loved George's interviewing style because he was very personal and friendly. I didn't know him, but he asked really good, insightful questions, and then he let you talk. Like a lot of people use their platform, they do all the talking, and you're like, why am I on? But George really interviewed you, and I just got a good vibe from George from the start. Sam's a great guy too, but I got a
Yeah.
good vibe from George. So we, talked a little bit here and there. I went back on Catch the Craze a couple of times. Didn't really know George well, and then I found out George was lettering. And then I saw he had The Adventures of Wonder Duck, and I picked it up. I'm not gonna lie, I picked it up just to support him. Um, but then I read it, and I was like, you know what? This was fun. It's
Thank
not.
you, man.
It's all ages, so to speak, but it wasn't. Oh man, this is like a kid's book. It was fine. It was like when you go to see Toy Story. It's a Pixar movie that everybody can just love, and it was
Mhm,
enjoyable. And
mhm.
it wasn't derivative of any other anthropomorphic character that you may look at and think it is. It may be inspired by a love for that character,
It was, yeah, it was
but it's
definitely.
its own. He's his own character, and George gives him its own life, and it's a really good story, and I enjoyed it. So
Thank you, man.
now I don't just like George as a person; I respect him as a creator, right?
Thanks, man.
So then we started to talk a little more, get to know each other, and I bust his balls. Oh my God, do I
You
bust George's
you do.
balls?
Oh, you do, man.
I
Oh,
mean,
you
I
do.
don't know how he doesn't hate me by now, but I bust. But the thing is about me, the more I bust your balls, the more I like you. That's
No, don't
why
give
I
me
bust
that.
your balls.
No, stop. That's
No, it's
bullshit, all right?
true. It's true, and you know it. You bust my balls
Thanks,
pretty
man.
damn good.
Oh,
All
dude,
right, it
we
still
go
is.
in.
But anyway,
Our phone calls
um,
are crazy.
oh yeah, they could be nuts. If you heard our phone calls, you'd be like, these guys hate each other. So so anyway, I know this is drawn out, but so now I respect what he does as a creator, and I
You do.
respect him and like him as a human being. But then I found out he could letter, and he letters well. So he lettered a few of my books, and
Angel knows. Angel
I
knows.
do, I do,
Angel
and
knows.
but only the people who I like. Anyway, um, so he lettered some books of mine, and he did phenomenal work. But
Thanks,
when Papa was, I was
man.
really
Well,
stressed. I really wanted this book out for my dad, and
Felipe, enough for that.
I couldn't pay for it. And George was like, I'll just letter it. And I was like, no, 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 no. And he just fought with me and he wouldn't listen. And let me tell you something. There's two people in the world. There's the person that offers something kind and they're really bluffing. They really don't want to. They're hoping you say no. And the first time you say no, they're like, all right, well, I tried. I look good. George is sincere. I've argued with him for a year now, and he still will not take money for lettering this specific
No,
book.
I'm
I
not
pay him
gonna.
for Shaman, but for
Yes,
Papa,
yes.
because of the nature of why I want this book out, he
Well,
refuses
yeah.
payment.
Well, dude,
So no, hang on,
listen,
shut up, shut up.
listen.
You're gonna get your flowers. Shut up,
No,
shut up.
no,
You
but
complain I
no,
bust your balls, and when I say something nice, you want to
but
talk over me. Shut up.
you know what? Bust
So
my balls.
anyway, George is one of the decent, kind souls in the world who also happens to be a really good creator. And his content is a reflection of that. The shameless plug is for any kid, not just an immigrant coming to
Yeah,
the United States
right.
who feels left out, but any kid that feels alienated and alone. And how many of us, even adults, do? And it's written in a nice, wholesome way where it shows the bond of a boy and his mother. and how lonely he can feel in school, and how there's bullies, and how even your friends can make you feel alienated. And it's a well written story with heart that can resonate with a parent, a child, anybody. An adult who just feels alienated at work can relate to this. And it's a good story that I enjoy, just like The Adventures of Wonder Duck, just like Russ. Um, Russ doesn't get enough credit either. George knows how to write, but he's doing something that is so important to the industry. He is writing books that bring everybody into reading comics. Children, parents, sitting down together, reading these stories and sharing them. They're not this adult content that a kid can't enjoy, and they're not this dummy down kid story that a parent is going to be like, "Oh, I don't want to sit and read this with my kid." He's uniting these people together in the greatest medium of all time, which is comic books. So when I tell you this, I mean this with the utmost sincerity. And anybody who knows me knows I don't bullshit, I don't lie, because I can't. You would know. You're backing the shameless plug is backing a creator who's writing something solid, writing something entertaining, writing something important for the industry because it is for everybody and is a good human being. If you don't back them, I'm going to find where you live and I'm going to toilet paper your house.
This,
You're going to get a flaming bag of poop on your stoop.
this is where you get the violence just comes out of nowhere. You know
I'm
what
just
I mean?
telling you. I say this not about many people, and I mean this sincerely. He's a good man who writes great stories, and he has a great illustrator that is helping
He
him
does.
do
He
that.
does. He does. He
So
is, man.
please go back to the shameless plug. It's a lot of fun. It's a great bonding experience with your kid. And if your kid is not enjoying reading and you can't get them to read, this is a good way to get them to start reading and be there with them. So pick it up.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. Like, and I thank you very much. I really appreciate everything you said. I always worry about, because I'm not a parent. I don't have kids. So like, when a parent like yourself who has two beautiful young ladies, you're raising really really good kids,
Thank you.
tells me that that story can be read to a certain age. It helps me with that because I often wonder, okay, is this too mature for a certain person? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's why I like to like give it some kind of age group when I'm thinking about it. Like in the shameless plug, I always thought it was more like young adults, kids who are maybe
Mhm.
coming, like it's because it's a coming of age story. So I always,
Right.
figured it wouldn't be for like a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old or an
But
8 year
see,
old.
I
But
disagree, and
yeah,
I'll tell you why. With the
okay.
social pressures that they face today, kindergartners are starting to feel social pressures
Yeah,
because the
yeah,
parents are putting them on these stupid devices, and a 6-year-old is watching YouTube. So I actually think in this day and age, it is more pertinent to younger people than you think.
yeah, right.
Sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off, but
No. I think no,
But
and then
again,
that
it's
again.
important for the industry because we have alienated children out of comics with all the NSFW and severe violence. Yeah, that was a funny line.
He's
And
hilarious.
guys like damn right, guys like George are
Thank you,
putting
Rob.
out stuff that can get kids back into comic stores with their parents. That's so important for the industry.
I think that that to me is very important. I mean, listen, you and I grew up reading comics as kids, man, and I remember, man, I remember coming home with a two or three comics and reading them, and I'm like lost in that world. And like
Mhm.
I feel like we've lost a lot of that through because of this. A lot of it is because of that. Um, and I think that people just use this to keep their kids quiet. Like, stop,
Yeah,
you're being too loud. Here,
I
take the phone.
know.
Do what you got to do with that.
Hand him a comic, hand him a book.
Hand them a
Jeez.
comic. Hand them a comic. You'd be surprised. Kids want to read comic. They do. They really do. I have a friend who has a little girl. She wants to read comics. She does. You just
Dude,
gotta
manga's
give it to
kicking
them.
Western's butt because they want to
Mhm.
read those stories. And My
Mhm.
Hero Academia, it's still superheroes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't want to hear about the superhero genre is played out, or that you can't enjoy a book that's more of a coming of age story. Did you like Stand By Me?
Mm.
You know,
The
some of our
Goonies.
favorite, The Goonies,
Yeah.
Monster Squad is still a coming of age
Monster
story
Squad.
wrapped up in monster adventures.
Sure.
Some of our favorite movies are coming of age stories. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
What was
A
that
lot of
one
them.
with River Phoenix and them? They were little kids. They go into space.
Oh, yeah. Geez. Why can I? Yes.
but there's a lot of
Oh,
coming of age
there's a
stories. There's
lot.
some classics. I mean, so many. So yeah, I go back, and if you don't know how to use Kickstarter, not only would George walk you through it, or I could help you walk through it, or you could go sign up on a pre-sign up on his website.
Yeah, no, for sure. And Raph, yeah, and I'm looking forward to your story too, Raph. Like
Yeah,
I
me
know you've
too.
been working on that, yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be fantastic, dude. But and that's the thing, we're careful with how we craft our stories because we care about them, and I appreciate that you are taking your time with it. I do want to see it out there. So it's One Punch Man. There you
Yeah, it's
go.
a superhero story too. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, all these things, man, all these things. But yeah, no, please make sure you guys, pledge to the campaign. Papa 2 is live right now. You have till the 27th, but don't wait. Do it now. I think a lot of people think, oh, I just wait till the end, see what happens. No, do it now because that helps
Yeah.
the
It-
campaign
The
move up.
algorithm, it bumps us up in
Yeah,
the algorithm and
bumps it
gets more
up.
people's eyes on it. Yes,
Absolutely.
I mean, you don't
Absolutely.
get charged until it ends, so please
Yeah.
don't wait.
Don't wait. Don't wait.
Please.
Definitely don't wait. And and listen, you put a lot of work into the campaign. I mean, you're adding a lot of things. I think what the beauty of what you're doing too, Phil, is that you're allowing people to come into your universe and you're adding all of that into it. I know the goal is for people to read the book, but I think when you're crowdfunding a book, I think it's very important to make sure you make the money so you can keep making
Right.
the comics.
Yeah.
So
And
yes,
just
please.
all my titles are in the same universe with the exception of
I
Wither.
didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought maybe
Papa and
Papa
Shaman are
was.
in Tragedy's world.
That's great.
And
That's
so is
really cool.
Dynamics, and so is Arcane Syndicate. As a matter of fact, I have a Dynamics Tragedy crossover already written and in mind, and I have an
Wow,
Arcane Syndicate Tragedy crossover in mind.
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, Bill, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you coming on here and talking about, your journey in this in this crazy industry, dude. I'm looking forward to to the printing, obviously your publishing, your distribution. Where will they see you next? Are you doing any shows or like where online can
Sunday
they
I'll be
find
at the
you?
One Day Hot Flip show here in Massapequa, in Long Island. I'll be as a fan at the Garden State Comic Fest, 27th to 28th. If you want to come say hi to me, I'll be walking around with my oldest daughter, my security. I will be at Terrificon in August at the
Oh, I'm
Mohegan
gonna see you
Sun
there.
as
Yeah.
a fan, so you can come say hi. Or if you have any questions, or if you want to talk to me about distribution or printing, I'm open. Just reach. Hey Phil, how you doing? I'm so and so. Um, I will be a guest at the Hot Flips booth up on the main floor at New York Comic Con. And other than that, I don't do many shows right now because I'm just too damn busy. I had to skip San Diego. I had two panels. I couldn't go.
Wow.
A couple of things. Please, Tragedy is live in stores every month. If you really like Tragedy, go to the distribution to check it out and then tell your store to order it. Wonder Duck, The Adventures of Wonder Duck has run its 8-month course, but it's still
Yes.
there for reorder. Go to your retailer, tell them we want Wonder Duck in our pull list so that they will order from Philbo. It is always there and available. Please
Thank you, man.
do that. And back our campaigns. And I'm going to say this. If you're one of the people that said, oh, we want a mask, and you don't back this mask, I'm going to find
You're gonna
you.
find you.
I'm going to find you.
Jesus. There you go. Again, it just goes off.
I'm going to find
This
you.
guy's unhinged. Oh man. Phil, always a good time talking to you, my brother. I'm sure I'll call you tomorrow just while I'm driving around so we can BS a little bit and I can bust your balls. I don't do it publicly, I do it in private. That's just how I roll. But it'll be fun as it always is. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you coming on, and we will do this again soon. Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe to both of our channels. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff, and pledge to the campaigns.
Shameless plug.
Yes, the Shameless Plug and Papa 2 are both of those are in my show notes. So you can always go there and click and, make sure you pledge. Anyway, thank you, my brother. I will
Thank you.
talk to you soon. Peace, everybody. We're out.